So we are working on assignment 11 here, which is jQuery. jQuery is a little bit like, well, it's not a little bit like JavaScript. It is, in fact, a library for JavaScript that helps us to interact with the HTML and just helps make a few things kind of with a shortcut. So I'll show you a little bit of that. I've opened up the assignment starter file, and in the whole folder in text editor, and I've also opened the HTML up in a web page in Chrome to show the web page, to show what's being seen. So I've opened first, sorry, I want to talk first about the HTML file. It is the same kind of HTML file that you've seen already before. It has, meta title links in the head. It has a body that starts with a nav bar. We've seen that nav bar before. This is nothing new. And then finally we get into line 39 after the nav bar is closed, and we start a container. So you'll notice that we're using Bootstrap already here. And we have a container, and in that container it has a row, and this row has something that takes up the whole width, which is a movie menu. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there with this row on line 41 to 55 and show you that over in the HTML, that's what's showing. You have those 7 items, and you see that it's an unordered list with all these list items. All of those are links. Those links don't go anywhere. So so they have IDs. Let's talk about that first. So they have IDs that are specific to which episode we're talking about. There are hrefs, and you need the href attribute, but it's just set to hashtag, just meaning that you'll stay on the same page. And it has a data target. That's going to be important in a little bit, but a data target basically saying when you click the phantom minister, when you click this first link, the data target, what it wants to show is the element with ID of episode 1. And so each of those has a unique data target. So you'll see down below, we have all of these different episodes, or all of these different divs that contain information about each of the individual episodes. And of course, I know that there are more now, but we'll just keep using this old one for a while. And then, of course, the word that's in is going to be displayed on the page, and then you close your anchor and you close your list item. And so that's what the list is. So that is, in fact, all that's showing. Okay. So then we have below the information that we will show when a link is clicked. So right now, that's being hidden. We can't see that. And in fact, let's run over to the site.css and see that it says movies displayed none. That just means not to display. Of course, to display none on anything with class movies. Let's go back to the index.html and see those have class of movies. It also has a class of row, so it's going to display in a row using Bootstrap. It has IDs, so we could refer to this by the ID, and of course we could go back and forth between this data target episode 1 and the ID episode 1, and that's what should show. So we'll just kind of keep that in the back of our head and in the back of our minds. So notice that there's something for all of these 7 episodes that we're talking about, and then down at the bottom we also link to JQuery because we're using jQuery now. We're using Bootstrap, and then we have the main.js, which is what we're going to be coding in. We go to, so finally, let's go to the main.js file and talk about how to do this. So I've given you a couple different examples of how to do the same thing, and both of them will work. Either one is acceptable to work. The first example, well, I should say before that, we're going to start out the entire block of JavaScript. This is going to happen inside what's called the document ready function. This document ready function just means when the website is loaded or when the website is ready to start doing JavaScript, then let's run this. So there will be times that instead of running the functions when the document is ready, you'll wait until a user does something, or you'll wait until something else happens first. But in our case, we want all of this to just start working when the document's ready, as soon as the document's ready to let it happen. And inside that, let's start with this top example. We have what's called a click function. So when this link or when the element on the HTML with this ID is clicked, then run this function. And this dollar sign and any of these dollar signs just means we're interacting with the HTML. So this dollar sign and parentheses and quotes and hashtag all just mean let's go to the HTML and find the element in the HTML with this ID. When it is clicked, then run this function, and in this case, we'll show the correct episode, and we can go ahead and style it. And you could style this in CSS too if you'd rather. But because it's only 2 lines of CSS, it's hardly worth adding to the CSS file, but you certainly could. But in our case, we are saying let's go back out to episode 1. And this is now the element with the ID of episode 1. So, whoops, I'm sorry. I'll do that. So this first one was the link. Remember in HTML, the links above have the ID of episode 1 link. And then what we're going to show has the ID of just episode 1. Okay, go back to the JavaScript and say this episode 1 link is clicked. We're going to show the episode 1. We can use a show method. There are several methods that we could use. I've given you a few examples in this, but you could use really whatever you want. There are a lot of interesting things you could do here. And we want to show at the slowest rate and change some CSS on it. So change the background color to black and the color to yellow. That's just going to be the text color that just uses the CSS property terms. And at the same time, we want to hide all the other episodes. So we're going to hide episode 2. And like I said, notice that there are some fade outs and there are some hides happening. Now there's nothing now showing for 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or even at this point 7. But eventually, when there's something showing, you'll want to hide it. Let's see. Oh, I also wanted to mention, notice that in some of these I'm using single quotes and in others I'm using double quotes. It does not matter which one I choose to use. So I can use on one line, I can use all single quotes, or I can use single and double, or I can use all double quotes like you've been seeing before, or some mix of all of that. It doesn't matter as long as within the same string I am being consistent. So I start and end that one string with single quotes. I start and end this string with double quotes. Okay. So let's see what this looks like. So if I click the Phantom Menace, that was episode 1, it should show the Phantom Menace. Okay? And then if there were anything else showing, it would hide that or fade them out or somehow get rid of them so that they don't show, depending on the methods I've used to show that. Okay. So you have your assignment is to here write the code for when the user clicks 2 through 6. Okay. You can do that in the same way that I just showed you, or let's go down and look at what I did with episode 7. So you might want to make the function more adaptable. So when the user, if I continue to add episodes, for example, or if I continue to change things, And as opposed to kind of coming back and changing these, um, changing the data targets, or maybe I want to change the name of the data targets. Maybe instead of calling it episode 1 or episode 7 in the HTML, the description in HTML, maybe I'll start calling it by its title, its movie title, or something else with it. So we can change HTML property values instead. So we're going to use the data target attribute value. Remember back in the HTML, I talked about that. The data target is episode 1. That just means we're going to use that. Okay. So let's go back to the JavaScript file. And we're going to say when episode 7 link is clicked, we're going to run this function. So the same thing that we did in line 3, but now we're using the episode 7 link instead of episode 1 link. In line 26, then we say we're going to the element on the HTML with class of movies, and let's hide it. So anything that was already there, let's hide it. And in fact, let's do that fast. So there are, again, a lot of things that you could do with this, but this is my example here. And then we're going to use this data target to fade in. So we're creating a variable called target. We're getting the link that we clicked before this episode 7 links attribute that is data target. So we're getting the value that's in the data target attribute of the episode 7 link, putting it in a target variable. Let's go ahead and add the hashtag to the target variable, because now our $ is expecting to look for something with, or if you're looking for an ID, you need the hashtag in front of it when you're using the $. So we're going to use that $ saying retrieve from the HTML the element that is, in this case, it's hashtag episode 7, because that's the data target value. And we're going to fade it in and give it some speed to do so. So you can use, like this shows above, the fade out with a slow or a fast even, or you can do a fade in with a number of milliseconds. You can hide and show. And again, I said that there are multiple things that you can do with that. And I hope you look that up and find some fun things to do. But anyway, so we're going to fade in the target and display it with the colors in CSS. So let's see what that looks like. If I click on the Force Awakens, okay, so that hid what was already there fast. And notice how I'm hiding all of them now at the same time. I don't have to hide them like I did up in 9 through 14, one at a time. I can, but I don't have to. So I'm going to hide everything with class movies, and then I'm going to fade in my episode 7 information, which happened. So again, if I click Phantom Menace, it does that. If I click Force Awakens, it does that. All right. So that's a quick intro to JavaScript. I'm sorry, to jQuery, which just uses, it's just JavaScript. It's just a little bit more that you can do with JavaScript, or a little bit of, it's a library of JavaScript. It gives you some shortcuts. It gives you some ways to do some things in JavaScript that you don't have to code the long way. So enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions.